Welcome back to the Carton Show. The Jets stink.
Hey, yes, they do. They really do.
Cowboys took advantage of our New York Jets. That's why they were 10-point favorites. They played like it. The Jets played like 10-point underdogs. That's the first drive of the game. Micah Parsons in our backfield. That's Dalvin Cook's best run of the day, -1 yard. And what I can't figure out for the life of me, when you know that Dallas' strength is their ability to put Micah Parsons anywhere he wants to be on the field, and you have to double that guy, how did the New York Jets go into that game and not have a plan to double him? And then worse than that, when he's dominating in the way he did, not change the game plan and adjust and give Dwayne Brown some help with an extra tight end or a running back to impede the progress of Micah directly to our quarterback.
It was not only frustrating, man, it seemed so dumb. Like, time after time, we watched Micah Parsons absolutely destroy Dwayne Brown and get after Micah Parsons. When they went 5 down, and the reason why you go 5 down, here goes big Dwayne Brown right here on island by himself. Now, I think this is 0. I can't see back there. That's not 0. It's 1 high. But when you get 5 across the board, that's really what the defense is trying to tell you. They're trying to win one-on-ones across the board, right?
Right.
Tackle through tackle.
I got you got me,
right.
pop, pop, pop.
On top of that, if you're the New York Jets, slide protection is your best friend here, right? Because what Micah Parsons was doing, anytime he thought that he possibly was going to get chipped, he was stunned inside, and they were stunned back out. So if that's the case, have slot protection, turn him into the wash, and that doesn't happen. Or you can do this. You say, Zach Wilson, you're going to graduate today. Let's have slot protection. We're going to turn this way. Throw hot off this guy. Get open, running back. Get open, receiver. That didn't happen. So for me, if I'm Nathaniel Hackett, the fact that you made no in-game adjustments,
that's a problem.
That you left Dwayne Brown out there, an aging tackle, out for dead, and you let Micah Parsons look like the next coming of Lawrence Taylor, was absolutely baffling.
Not just that, Dwayne Brown, his new nickname is quarterback killer. He's responsible for Aaron Rodgers having his Achilles ruptured. He's responsible also for giving Micah Parsons a career day and killing the prospects of Zach Wilson being a competent quarterback. Dwayne Brown hates the Jets. That's what I learned.
It's not true.
Yeah, by the way, I would not be shocked.
The man fought his tail off to get back on that
stop
field.
It,
what other option did the Jets have other than Dwayne Brown?
Drafted left tackle.
Mekhi Becton wasn't the guy.
He was supposed to be our left
but
tackle.
he wasn't.
Yeah, I would say this. I will not be surprised if in the next 24 hours the New York Jets do 2 things. 1, announce the retirement of Dwayne Brown because he's no longer an NFL left tackle.
He's had
and
2,
bring in a veteran quarterback. Now, speaking of veteran quarterbacks,
who you got?
And the fact that Zach Wilson did not do a good job yesterday, although I'm not blaming him for the loss because he was under duress the entire game. And the 2 of the 3 interceptions were very late and frankly were kind of meaningless possessions. Anyway, so I'm going to give him a little break on the number of interceptions. I was told, and I believed in my soul, that the New York Jets had a running game. That the combination of Dalvin Cook, who I was so happy to go out there and acquire for $10 million, whatever it is, and of course the return of Breece Hall, that was going to be a strength of my favorite football team, and will throw the ball to complement our great running attack, right? How is it possible that Breece Hall touched the ball 4 times?
Yeah,
how is it possible that Dalvin Cook got the ball even less? That is not what the Jets are. And I bought into the bill of goods that Nathaniel Hackett, our offensive coordinator, based on his experience in Jacksonville, when he didn't have a good quarterback, but he had a great running attack and a really good defense, would recognize that's how you win with the New York Jets. The New York Jets with Zach Wilson at quarterback are not going to win a lot of football games when that is the production of our running game. 4 carries for Breece Hall, 2 carries for Michael Carter, and only 4 carries for Dalvin Cook. And by the way, Dalvin Cook, when are you going to run for positive yards as a New York Jet? 2 games, you've been terrible.
He hasn't been terrible.
Terrible.
He's coming off a shoulder. He's working himself
into the 1,000-yard running back in Minnesota.
But to your point,
for the last 4 years, he can't run for 20 yards.
But to your point with this offensive line and this run game, they have to figure out a way to add range to the run game, right? Because what the Cowboys did, they just loaded the box with 8 people. And they just said, hey, we dare you to run against that. And it's possible, man. Coming from the Pittsburgh Steelers, we used to love running against heavy fronts. Because you know what we did? Down, around. Double teams across the board. We played power eye football. Not power eye, but we played power football. And we had double teams, and we were able to get to the second level. There's always going to be an extra man. But when you have a running back in Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall, they can beat that one guy that's left over. But we saw no range. I mean, for Christ's sakes, you could have an unbalance. You could have a tackle over. There's things you could have multiple tight ends on the field. They didn't do anything. It's almost like Nathaniel Hackett was so concerned about Zach Wilson not blowing the game that he forgot about the rest of the offense and the weapons we had.
But it's crazy because against Buffalo, we said the run blocking was really good. It's a strength of the team. Now, you're a big social media guy, Jacoby. I want to show you a tweet that was taken down and tell me exactly what this means, okay? Because I'm a little bit older than you. I don't quite follow all this stuff. Breece Hall did that yesterday. 4 footballs, ... And then, of course, he took it down. Can you tell people what that means?
That means he touched the ball 4 times, and he complained about it, and then he took it down. But I want to talk to you two for a second. Because
so my second-year running back off a torn ACL is now complaining in week 2. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You two are Jets fans, and you are not being rational about this. Like, we need to chip. We need to chip a little bit on Dwayne Brown, and then we win the game. If we run the ball more, we're going to win the game. Yeah. You were absolutely dominated on all facets of the game.
No.
The defense did not. What about this great defense? You said best defense in the NFL?
Struggled against.
No.
The New York Jets defense did a bad job. I don't know where our defensive line was yesterday. I'll give you one better.
Did the offense do anything that inspired you?
No.
Was there anything inspiring from the offense?
No.
Nothing good happened.
It was a complete failure.
Something.
This wasn't a couple coaching decisions away. They got beat in every facet of the game.
I'll get to New England coming up shortly.
Dominated.
We got dominated by a better football team. I can own that. And by the way, I said the Jets might lose this game, so I'm not surprised that they did. What I'm bothered about is the manner in which we game planned. We didn't do ourselves any favors by not doing something to help out our 40-year-old left tackle who was clearly in over his head. My problem is the fact that whether it's Robert Saleh, Nathaniel Hackett, whomever's in charge of game planning, at no point recognize what we have out there is not working. Let's do something different. That's my problem. I can eat the loss. The Dallas Cowboys are a very good team. You know what I can't eat, though? Bad coaching, an inability to change things on the fly when things aren't working. And then here's the other thing. I've been told for the last 12 months that I've got the best cornerback in all football. That Sauce Gardner is him. Sauce Gardner is Revis Island, take 2. Sauce Gardner has not been a good cornerback. He's not been a dominant cornerback. And down 10-7, having been outplayed for the entire first half. That is 6 points right there. Meaning the New York Jets would have taken a 14-10 lead with about 5 minutes to go in the first half. Now, I'm not telling you that's a guaranteed W because Dallas outplayed them anyway. But up 14-10 with 5 minutes to go, and now Dak Prescott has done the one thing he can't do. Throw a bad pass for an interception that leads to points. The entire mentality of that game changes. Bad job by Sauce Gardner as well.
And what scares you about the philosophy with Robert Saleh's defense, remember last year there was that scene on the bench with Quentin Williams. It's like, don't blitz. We can get there with our 4.
Yeah.
They can't get there with their 4 anymore. No. They have to blitz. And when you talk about this secondary, who is now, for the second week in a row, you have C.J. Mosley missed an interception that led to a touchdown. Now you have Sauce Gardner that missed an interception that led to a touchdown. This defense is failing to take the ball away, and it's causing them multiple touchdowns. And right now, if they're not able to get after the quarterback, they look like they did in the water. So they have to find a way to get to the quarterback and apply more pressure.
The New York Jets look like a bad football team yesterday. They're not. They're a very, very good football team that should have, when it's all said and done, one of the better defenses in football, which means at some point you got to tip your cap to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys and Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn on that defense did a much better job than the Jets coaching staff did. They were the better team in every facet of the game. They don't even have a real kicker. They got some dude who played soccer for like the first 25 years of his life, who's money good from 55.
He was money.
Like, guy doesn't miss a kick.
They picked him up at a Home Depot and he was just lights out.
So, as bad as the Jets were, there's a reason they were that bad, and that is that the Dallas Cowboys are that good. So let's anoint the Dallas Cowboys as one of the best teams in the entire NFL. They've outscored their two opponents, the Giants and the Jets now, 70-10. That ain't no typo. 70-10.
It's only week 2, by the way.
And tomorrow, when I reveal my first ever power rankings in the NFL, you will see the Dallas Cowboys, I'll tell you right now, at the top. The Dallas Cowboys right now.
Top 5?
Top. The Dallas Cowboys are the best team in football.
You're going to power rank NFL teams on television? No one's ever done that before.
Yeah.
No one's ever said brilliant. Brilliant.
I got a whole mountain coming. It's a whole thing.
First of all,
it's not going to be ready for tomorrow. For
it's obvious the Dallas Cowboys are a dominant team, but they really haven't played anybody. It's still the Niners. They still got teams on the board that they got to play.
Yes.
The Eagles. I mean, they're still.
I think if I'm not mistaken,
they played the 2 New York teams. He's like, they haven't played anybody.
Yeah.
They got the Cardinals. That's an easy dub. They have New England.
Patriots.
We'll find out week 5.
Of course, their season starts week 5. I agree. At San Francisco, their nemesis. Meanwhile, the New York Jets try to lick their wounds and come back against the New England Patriots this week. That is a huge game as New England tries to avoid being 0-3, and the Jets trying to avoid, of course, going down to 1-2. One other quick Jet note before we take a break and welcome Greg Jennings in here for the day. The New York Jets will have a veteran quarterback on their roster by 3 o'clock tomorrow. That is a guarantee, L-O-C-K lock.
What's scary?
I don't know who it is.
But I'll tell you this.
But they ain't going forward with this crap, I can tell you that.
Well, the Jets are starting to rear their ugly head again. It happened last year. Is it about developing Zach Wilson and keeping his confidence up, or is it about winning football games? And you tell that yesterday they were in a fork in the road because there's no way you can sit there and not have the in-game adjustments, not protect Dwayne Brown, get him some help, not being able to run the football on an efficient level, and not be able to get after quarterback and say, hey, the Jets are a good team right now. They look bad.
Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.